Good evening, everybody. How y'all doing tonight? My name's Dan. If you're new here, I ask that you'd please hit the subscribe button, ring the little bell icon up in the corner so that you'd know when I'm uploading a new video. If you're returning, welcome back. I want to talk a little bit about the homeless problem in this country. And yes, being homeless has a lot to do with prepping. It's one of the reasons we prep is so that we ensure that we don't wind up like that living on the streets. I made that mistake before. I stopped prepping for years, and I had a personal SHTF and wound up living on the streets. And let me tell you, it's not a picnic whatsoever. Anyhow, today I was in Chicago, and the area of Chicago I was in was actually right around downtown. Okay, but actually it was downtown. Anyhow, I ran into a tent city. Okay, they had tents under the overpasses alongside the highway and all of that. I mean, there was several tents, and a lot of people were actually in the tents. They weren't out walking about so much as they were in their tents. It was early this morning, but I seen it all, and I thought, okay, well, I ought to do a video. So I went down and I circled around, and I come back. I parked my truck on the side of the road and walked back there, and I tried to get people to talk to me on camera, but nobody wanted to talk on camera. I wanted to interview them and find out a little bit about them and why they were where they were at and everything. Now, several of them would talk to me as long as I wasn't recording them, so I didn't get to record the conversations or anything, but I learned quite a bit about their situations there. I met two families actually that were living in a big tent. Well, they were living in two big tents, but one family had a daughter. It was mother, father, and daughter. The daughter was 11 years old, and they were living on the streets. And I asked them how that came to be, and they were telling me how the summer of last year they wound up getting screwed over, lost their jobs, had no money, couldn't pay rent. The landlord was a private individual and not bound by the eviction memorandum or whatever the hell it was, and they wound up out on the streets, and they lived out on the streets all last summer and winter, and up until now they're still living on the streets. And the other family I met had two sons. One was 12 and one was 15, and the mother and father, and they were all living in another tent. And their story was pretty similar. Lost their jobs, couldn't afford anything, and they held on as long as they could. But at the beginning of this year, when the renter protection thing ran out before they renewed it, their landlord kicked them out, and they've been on the streets now for a couple of months. But I noticed that there was a disproportionate amount of black people that were homeless there and living under the bridge and on the side of the road. Well, the couple that had the little girl, they were a black couple, and the other couple was a white couple. But my thing about this, I took some pictures. I'm gonna post them right here. Okay. I took those pictures while I was still in the truck as I was going by. before I doubled back and parked. But it goes to show that how bad things can get and how quickly they can get there, and why we need to be prepared for all situations, really. And it begs the question why we are bringing in illegal immigrants and putting them up in hotels and providing for them and giving them money and everything, when we have U.S. citizens like this that are living on the streets, that are desperate. They are in desperate need. And as you can see from the pictures, I mean, there's quite a few homeless, and that was just in one city block there. But it's gotten to the point in this country, the Democrats don't care about the people of this country. They're more interested in bringing in people that they think will vote for them, trying to get them into this country and get them settled in, and make sure that they get their votes by making their lives real easy and giving them everything, free health care, food stamps, all that kind of stuff, But all the while they neglect our own citizens, our veterans. They don't try to take care of the people of this country, and it's a real shame. Myself, I've always believed that charity begins at home. You take care of you and yours first, then you help your neighbor, then you can help other people further and further down the line. But you start with those that are already in your home, and by in your home I mean, when it comes to the government, in your home means within the continental United States, those of us that are citizens, those of us that actually live here, those should be the first ones we take care of, especially our veterans. When I was homeless in North Carolina, I was homeless in Fayetteville, which is right off Fort Bragg, and a large majority of the people there, a good 75% at least, were veterans that were living on the streets. Now, granted, a few of them lived there by choice. I talked to a few of them that said that they didn't want to be a part of society anymore. That's why they lived there. And then there was others that had mental problems for PTSD, and the government had failed them. And then you just had some that had fell through the cracks. And in a country as big as ours, and with us always trying to help everybody else, we should not have any citizens, especially those that served, that fall through the cracks of the system. I'm sorry, but it just should not happen. Spirit went up. I mean, when I was homeless, I couldn't get any help. The shelters were always full. I couldn't get any public assistance or anything like that. Oh, you need an address. Well, I don't have an address. I live on the damn street. Help me to get off the street. Help me to, I told them at one point, just get me a bus ticket so I can go home. Well, we can't do that. Well, why not? Well, we need this, and this, and this. I'm like, how the hell am I don't even have a phone. How am I supposed to contact my family back home for you to verify that, I don't have their phone numbers because they were in my phone. I don't have my phone anymore. And I'm like everybody else. I stopped memorizing phone numbers a long time ago because they were always in my phone. Now I've started memorizing phone numbers again just to be safe, so that if I ever am in an emergency situation, I will have those numbers in my head. Friends and family are the people that I've memorized the numbers of. But at that time, I didn't have any of their numbers memorized, and when I lost my phone, I lost all the numbers. So how the hell was I supposed to get a hold of anybody? You know, and I asked him. I was like, okay, well, can I give you their addresses and you guys, get a hold of the police or something? And well, no, it's your responsibility to get a hold of them so that they can. I'm like, well, what good are you guys if you can't help me? You know, and I'm in desperate need. Then why are you even here? You know, you have no use to anybody if you're not able to help us. You know, that's the problem. But if I'd been an illegal immigrant, oh my God, I would have got the world handed to me on a platter. You know, they would have taken me, got my health checked out, dental work done. You know, they would have put me up, found me a place to live. They would have gave me an income. They would have given me food stamps. But because I was an American citizen, I wasn't entitled to any of that. And all these people that are homeless in our country that are U.S. citizens should be our first priority. Close down the border, stop the influx of illegals coming across, finish the wall, take care of the people in this country first. Anyhow, this video probably won't post until tomorrow morning. But I had to get this off my chest. Now, I am not a total asshole. You know, I did help those people out. I carry a large supply of food on my truck, enough to survive for at least 3 weeks in my truck if I needed to. I had canned ham and spam and ramen noodles and the cocktail weenies, all that kind of stuff. I had a bunch of that stuff in the truck. I no longer have it. And my wife's probably going to be pissed at me because I gave away all of my food except for my emergency dehydrated foods. I still have those in the duffel bag. But all of my other foods, like my beef stew and stuff like that, the canned stuff that I could just pop open and eat, I gave all that away. I gave away both my cases of water that were under the bunk, and I figured, it's the least I could do. It's maybe a couple of $100 worth of food, but I can always restock it with my preps at home if I need to. But my wife, she hates when I do stuff like this. But she thinks I'm putting myself in danger. Being a truck driver, she's afraid that they would try to mug me or whatever, and I'm not afraid of that. Believe it or not, a lot of the homeless are not out to rob you or mug you. They need to help. Yes, there are some crazy ones out there, and there are a lot that are on the streets because of drugs and stuff, but anymore, there are a lot of them that are out there because of what the government did to us over the last year. And instead of taking care of our own people, they are taking care of people that don't even live in the U.S., that are coming here illegally. They're giving them everything while our own citizens are left to suffer on the streets. What does that say about the government that we are living under right now? That tells me an awful lot, But I'll stop this here, and because if I keep going, I'm going to start getting upset, and you know how it gets when I get upset. I start ranting and raving. But check out my backup channel. Just go over there and subscribe. I mean, I generally put the same videos up over there that I do here, just in case. Now, I normally will upload them a day later because I upload them to my main channel here. And if by chance it's something that's going to get me a strike or whatever, get my channel pulled down, then I don't lose my other channel as well. Now, after it's been on here for a day, I'll go ahead and I'll post it on the other channel because I know that it's not going to get it pulled down. But I've had a lot of live streams and stuff come up missing off of my channel. But you know, it's YouTube's playground. Got to abide by their rules, I guess. But I do want to give every one of you PTSD, you know, but it's up to you to get your own PTSD. And what I mean by PTSD again is preps to survive disasters. I mean, I'm doing what I can. I can't afford to buy your preps for you. I can barely afford my own right now, the way things are going. And like I said, my wife's going to be mad because I gave away a couple $100 worth of food, but you know, she'll understand. I mean, she always does. She gets a little upset with me, and then she starts thinking about it. And anyhow, y'all have a good night. If you want to email me, got questions, comments, suggestions, whatever, my emails are in the description below. If you'd like to support my channel, feel free. The links to my PayPal and stuff are in the description as well. Other than that, y'all have a good night. Hope that each one of you stays safe. God bless you, each and every one. You know, and I'm not a highly religious man. You won't get much preaching out of me on my channel. You know, I am an ordained minister, but I don't practice anymore. Had a falling out with the church. Enough said on that. Anyhow, y'all have a good night. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.